welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, y'all, this is my review recap for Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup, Bonded for Life, Season 4, Episode 48. Child, let's get into the messiness and the foolishness of it all, honey. A hot damn mess. Savannah. Every time I think you can't get no crazier, you prove me wrong, child. You say, nope, I could get as crazy as I want to get, honey, all right? Let's get crazy. She trying to show up in a damn wedding dress talking about she about to force this man to marry her, y'all. I can't, okay? I just can't. I give up, okay? I want to bang my head against the wall, but it ain't no sense in me banging my head against the wall for her crazy behind, all right? Renika, another crazy one, child. But we knew that she was going to end up seeing Ashante. I mean, they already gave that away in the preview because they're going to be on the next season of Love After Lockup, right? So she just basically still says she's going forward. She going to find her man. She going to wait on her man. It got to be some kind of mix-up with the daggone prison systems. Letitia, child, your man is pissed, okay? He already know that $15,000 was spent out the bank account. He said, you better take that ring back. He gonna come get it off your damn finger. You know, she trying to pop crap. She feeling embarrassed. She out here with a damn bra and some daggone stretch pants. I'm trying to understand it, child, but you can't make sense out of nonsense, you know. You got daggone Jade go up to the prison to finally get to see, you know, her man, and her sister comes along with her, and now all of a sudden sister's talking about, well, I got to see another side, and I could kind of understand why he's doing all these calls. He don't have nobody to talk to. He's locked behind these walls all the time, and at least for now it looks like they've been able to make a little bit of peace, but she's still worried about, you know, Jade is, okay, worried about him potentially being able to go ahead and take her money and make her homeless should they break up, all right? We got Angie over here baking, you know, Brittany a cake. She supposed to be getting out soon. Well, actually, her son, because she would be getting out on his birthday. He's doing a little shopping for her, okay? And we basically have EB still going real hard on damn Brittany, and I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. Like, do EB got anybody? I doubt it. And if she do, they probably trying to run away from this damn behind too, because it's giving crazy, deranged, and doing too damn much. You need to mind your business because I'm not in a relationship with you. But let's go ahead and get into this episode, y'all. Take it from the top, break it on down. You know how we do. So we gonna start with Savannah as usual, okay? It's always best to get Savannah behind out the way. Savannah's here talking about, you know what? I don't give a damn F it, okay? I'm still gonna go over here and I'm gonna look for a wedding dress and I'm gonna make this man want me, even though when we last saw him, he was saying, girl, I want to explore. I want to live life. I don't know what it is to even be out there and be with different women. And I sure enough don't want to get locked down. Don't want to be married to nobody. Don't want you to marry me just for me to get out. If that's the only way that I could get out, then tough titty, I will stay locked the hell up. But no, we going to take that as, let's go look for a wedding dress to show up to see him for a damn visit, okay? Okay, Savannah girl, if that's what you want to do. So it kills me that not one of her friends really even like took the time to be like, this is completely nuts. No, girl, don't do it, okay? The most one of them said is, if somebody is basically telling you that they want to explore things, the last thing that means is that you should be getting married. But other than that, they pretty much was like, oh, so you're just looking for something formal? We having wine brought over or champagne or whatever for us to go ahead and drink while we looking at these dresses. You know, what kind of dresses are we looking for? Is it something like courthouse? Okay, cool, got you. So we looking through these wedding dresses. We trying these wedding dresses on. They kept saying, no, that ain't the one for you, child. The one that she picked, they should have told her that wasn't the one for her either because it looked raggedy. I'm sorry, okay? You know, nonetheless, he ain't marrying you anyway. You wasting your time and your money. But if you did want to look a little cute, okay, because I know you can't wear certain things because of it being a prison, but child, you could have wore something better than that, okay? I got pajamas that look better than that. But nonetheless, I digress, moving right along. You know, she's still sitting here talking about, so you're planning on, you know, going in there tomorrow, getting married or whatever. Potentially he comes out in the next, 5 years. That's what her friends say to her. And he decides, buys Felicia, and she's like, oh no, I doubt that that's gonna happen. He, he says something could potentially happen. She was like, and you know, um, when he first get out of prison or whatever, he's over here talking about that he want to explore other women and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have. I don't have a good relationship with his mom and all of this different kind of stuff. But I do feel like that I could build a relationship with him, and that he has his reasoning behind it. And she was like, she believes in unconditional love. I said, yeah, girl, but that works. Unconditional love works both ways. Like, the delusion of this chick, okay, is unprecedented. All right, y'all. And so she's just really still stuck on this and saying she gonna do. And she was like, her friend is literally saying it's so weird seeing you in a damn wedding dress or whatever, right? And she was like, oh, child, I just wish one of them would have slapped her, threw her up against the wall. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be promoting violence, okay? But it's like, please, somebody shake some sense into this damn girl, right? She is just still determined, settled, and she does, decide to pick this last one. The freaking lady, just sales lady, just want to make her sell. She talking about this one look good. I said, girl, if you say so, right? And so she's like, this is the one. I'm going to go right on in that prison, and, I'm saying, I'm going to get my man. And so her friends is basically saying, showing up in a wedding dress is a little extreme or whatever, right? And they don't know what's going to happen and if he's going to actually even want to do this when it's all said and done, right? But they here for her. I said, child, y'all really not, though. Y'all literally making, like, sitting here laughing at her on the inside and letting her make a fool out of herself on national TV. So we gonna move on from that because it wasn't much with that. Now, getting over to Andy, he's over here on a video call. He all happy and excited, saying, hey, babe, I'm about to go do this shopping for you. What stuff do you want me to pick you up? She telling him to pick her up like some t-shirts, a cap, some pants, and he like, and what about, for that evening? And she like, okay, that evening, what you mean? Oh, I mean some negligees or something. The way she laughed, he knew, she knew, okay? I knew, you knew that meant, nah, dog, we ain't getting no negligees because ain't going to be nothing going down. But in his head, he talking about, he can't wait to, of course, get it. And just the thought of it is making him so excited. So his friend is there waiting for him when he walk in, and he holding up a little bustier top. And, he introduces them to each other through video, and they talking for a minute. And, of course, the friend brings up the fact that, yo, when I looked you up and did that background check, you had these different people coming up with you. And, yeah, I am a little worried and concerned, and this is a good guy, and I don't want to see him hurt. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to see him hurt either. So when they end the conversation, he's like, well, what did you think about her? And it's like, come on, I can't be on a video call with somebody for 5 or 10 minutes and then be like, oh yeah, I like them so much, like I'm still going to need to see more from her. So he's asking him how much you think you're going to spend right now as far as these clothes, and he's saying $100, which is not bad. And he also says that he got this account set up for her, that he ended up telling her that she's going to get $1,200 altogether. He don't know why he picked the number $1,200. It was just kind of just, a random number, a round number that he figured would be good. And every time he get a check, he puts a little to the side. So he's holding this $500 in his hand, like, oh, this is $500 here. And he's saying how when she first come out, he really don't want her to be working, okay? He want her to stay home and focus on her sobriety. And so the friend is like, oh, you got it like that? And he basically says yes, that he does, right? And I said, okay, we'll see, right? And so, of course, this friend is skeptical, just feel like he being a sugar daddy and she's using him. And he basically says that he is thinking with the other head, okay, not the one on top that got the damn brains inside of it, all right? He's sitting on his brains, as my grandma would say. And so, they go ahead and they pay the bill and they leaving, and he basically is like, yo, you really Mr. Sugar Daddy, huh? And Andy talking about, hey, you do things, for the one that you love. What's a man to do, right? And so we also find out that when she's getting out, this is going to be her son's birthday. And for some reason, instead of telling him to buy a cake, she asked him to make one. And he said it had to be about 10, 15 years since he made one. I mean, he did his best. He had an E from effort, child, okay? The cakes itself may not have been bad. He was saying, he hoped that they taste better than they look. But I don't know what kind of damn, the frosting, why it was looking like that. And then, basically, his son was sitting here pouring, chocolate, frosting around it, and was talking about, hey, this is the turd. And then he went and was trying to put some other kind of green, decorative topping on it to make it not look so bad, but they was just basically making a mess, right? And so, of course, he's super excited about this, and we will see, what happens when she come home, child, because I don't think it's going to go anything, any way that he thinks it's going to go, right? And so, moving on from him, child, we get to Jade and her sister on the way to see Chris. She's giving her the breakdown. This is going to be something different. This is a powwow, right? And this is something that they let them do where families can all come together. We could be a little bit more social. We could sit next to each other. We could take pictures. You might see some talent shows. Last time it was somebody there doing hip-hop. She like, wow, are you serious? Really? Now, meanwhile, Jade is saying how important it is for her to have this conversation when she gets there, because she like ever since, the last time that they talked and everything that he said, that's been the only thing on her mind. And she is so concerned about, potentially being homeless should the relationship end and they not be able to be together no more. And she never thought about this in the whole 6 years that they've been together. Now is the time to have a conversation about it, not the 6 years previous to this that they was already together. So, okay. But, she's saying she really looking forward to this. At the same time, she having bubble guts. She's nervous. Her sister's like, ooh, now, mind you, she gonna talk about her sister gonna say, oh, is he gonna kiss my feet? And I'm like, what? Like, what are we talking about here, right? And then Jay says, nobody would want to kiss your feet. So they get there, they waiting, and then she's like, we'll see how this all goes, because we are actually about to spend the whole damn day here at this freaking jail. This is definitely something new. I'm not used to this. So they go inside and apparently have a good time. Have a great visit where she's like, wow, he's actually different in person. I can kind of see things in a different light, see him in a different light, or whatever the case may be. And even with all the calls that he was making, I have a better understanding of it, because if you are locked away and you don't have nobody to talk to but other inmates that's in there, and all you could depend on is that call to that loved one, then, like if I was in there, I would probably be doing the same thing too, basically, right? And so Jade says let her ride around to where she usually stops and talks to him by this window before she leaves, and she's like, okay. And while they're standing there, Chris basically yells out the window, are you going to stop being in our damn business now? So she talking about something, I don't know, we'll see. And we talking about, I love you too. And just telling him to be good, and he's like, I'll try. And sis says, like, I like what I saw, I like where I see this going, but at the same time there's definitely still more work that they have to do. And she says she thinks the fact that Jade actually got to see him, she kind of forgot, okay, to talk about the so-called thing that was the most important thing to her that she wanted to discuss, that's been on her mind since the last time they talked, okay? And so then Jade herself says, I'm still kind of worried about some things. I want to see where things is going to go. But she says, we had a nice time. I got to touch him. He got to hug me. He was saying all these different nice things to me. It was so great to see him, or whatever the case may be. And, just like they still need to definitely sort some things out, right? And, they basically are waving and, like I said, love you too. Don't fall out the window, and having these different jokes. And she go riding off. And she's saying that she definitely does feel more confident about the situation, but also feels like, and about their relationship or whatever, but the financial situation is still in the back of her head, and they still need to discuss that, right? And she's like, and can I trust him? I said, girl, Lord of mercy. Yeah, that's what we dealing with, right? So that was, pretty much that with them. Now, moving on, EB and Brittany finally get to have this meetup, right? They saying, listen, I want to get to know you. I want to try to build a relationship with you, I know that you care about EB, and I know that, I know that you care about Keenock and you have a relationship with him, but I want to be able to build my own relationship with you. They have spoke before about getting to know each other, but we know that we've been seeing how EB been basically being a stalker or whatever, and saying that she lying about something and she's not trusting something. This whole time I've been saying, well, come out with it. What the hell is it that that you thinking that she's lying about? Because you saying it like you so sure, and you got the proof, but you being around the bush with it. And I was happy that while they was in the store, she was saying, oh, come in, smell these candles. Yeah, I love these candles, and about us bonding and hanging out and all of that. And she's like, well, I know this for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching you or whatever the case may be, because she even begins to tell her about the girl Carla and was like, do you know her? Was you locked up with her? And she's like, yeah. So she's like, telling the whole story about how she said that they got into a fight and EB said they didn't. And she was like, oh, well, if EB said, yeah, no, he didn't, then he didn't. And she was like, well, I got to tell you about Carla. One thing with her is that she makes up stories and you never know what you're going to get from her. And she was like, well, why would she do that? Why do some people do that? She was like, girl, because people are people and they crazy, and that's just how people are, right? And so she's basically like, wow. And then she goes, well, I want to make sure that things is different and better as far as the situation between me and you. And she was like, yeah, okay, I want you to be honest with me, and still be certain things that I feel like you be sneaky with and you be lying about, and there's certain things that I know. And so Brittany is like, okay, well, come out with it then. Say that, because I be feeling like you kind of trying to hint at different things and accuse me of things or whatever that I'm not even doing nothing. So she's like, what exactly are you trying to say? So she asked her again who she was staying with, and she tells her, and she's like, who else besides that? It was another relationship and another person that you used to be going around. And she's like, man, I'm not doing this. Like, you're bugging out. I'm about to leave because I'm about to get pissed the hell off now, whatever, right? So she walk away and she go to the back, and she's just basically like, this is ridiculous. At the end of the day, I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm in a relationship with Keena. So I don't understand why you're asking me all these different questions and coming at me in all these different ways and accusing me of different things. And EB is saying, listen, I lived on that block. It's certain things that I used to see when she wouldn't know that I was looking, that I observed. And she's lying or whatever the case may be. She was like, she's real sneaky. So she was like, well, did you hear this from somebody? No, I saw it for myself. She was like, she would pull up on the side and be around the back and all of that and pick the person up and be either going to work or school or whatever. And she was like, you left one out, like you only named one friend. So in the meantime, Brittany is saying this is giving her anxiety. This is really upsetting to her. She was like, she feel like every day is something she can't breathe. You get through one thing and it's the next thing or whatever. And she was like, she had no right, talking to me like that. I really don't appreciate or whatever. And I don't know what you trying to see or what you trying to like really accuse me of, but this is just ridiculous, and I don't like the energy that's coming off of you and everything like that. And I understand her reacting like that. She was like, I'm mad because he don't know me like that, and you over here accusing me of things. And so, then she got up and she was basically walking away again, and she had started crying. So EB had came up to her and was like, yo, stop crying or whatever. And she was telling her like, listen, I got judged by my family. I got judged by my parents, friends, all of that. It was a time when I was literally a young girl and sleeping on the street and just trying to stay away from everybody or whatever. And she's like, I get you got good intentions and you care about Keenock, but sometimes it feels like you're attacking me. And I'm trying to be as respectful as I can to you, but this is just like feeling ridiculous right now, right? And she was like, he's the only person that I have that hasn't judged me or whatever. So of course I want his friends and family to be able to get to know me and like me and have a relationship with me or whatever, right? And she was like, it just feels like you're judging me in the same way like all of them did. I didn't leave from being judged by them to have to be judged by somebody else. And EB is saying, I'm not judging you at all. That's not what I'm trying to do. And then, Brittany is basically like, that's how it feels to me or whatever. It just feels like you're attacking me with things and, and that I'm not doing right now or whatever, right? I'm not a bad woman. I love him and I'm trying to be here for him the same way that he be here for me. So EB was like, well, maybe my, way that I come across is aggressive at times, but I asked a simple question that can just have a simple answer. When I'm asking you the question, I already know the answer to the question before I even, ask. So she was like, well, you don't have all the information. And she was like, well, I'll tell you time and time again that I be seeing you. I know certain things or whatever, right? And so she said, well, have you ever heard in the eye of the beholder? So she talking about, you may see things, but it might not be the way you think it is. So EB talking about if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck and all of that, whatever. So she was like, no, but you still don't understand me, you know what I'm saying? So then she begins to say that her and Keenock had certain things that they went through, certain agreements they made, certain discussions they had, and that it was a time when she broke up with Keenock that she was in a relationship with somebody else. And, you know, at the end of the day, she thinks EB is mixing the situations. And she was like, Keenock and her have already had these discussions or whatever. And EB may not know everything in the timeline. And that at the end of the day, she don't want to have to explain herself to EB. That's what the all boils down to, right? And so she was like, you know, these are things that me and Keenock had already discussed. And I guess we going to have to get to the bottom of it when he get home. Because EB basically was like, I doubt it. And then, you know, she was like, I thought when I got out, I was going to have freedom. Like, I could have stayed in damn jail if I still wanted to be dealing with something like this, right? And so after that, she was like, there has to be boundaries, and she definitely going to have to, you know, talk to Keenock about this, right? And she was saying to EB, I think sometimes it's just more to the story. So that was pretty much the bottom line with that. They not going to see eye to eye regardless, obviously. EB already has her thoughts on her. And I'm child, she better than me because I wouldn't even stood there that long talking. Now, we get to, you know, Letitia. She over here, of course, thinking she Miss Big Baller. You know, ain't nothing he could do, ain't nothing he gonna say to me. He gonna have to deal with it. I'm not telling him about it right now. I haven't told him about it. You know, he won't be able to find out till later and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she out here with a damn bra on. Child was trying to figure out this damn outfit, okay? Talking about his fashion, just swearing that she chilling or whatever. And her man, okay, husband, he ends up calling her piss child. He found out about that damn ring and the price 2.5 seconds later, okay? He said he done checked the damn account and it's 15,000 missing. So she's over here basically trying to step outside, of course, embarrassed, trying to hold it together and you know, play it off and pop her junk or whatever the case may be, talking about, because he was like, yeah, don't you got something to tell me? And she's like, tell you what are you talking about that 15,000 that's up out the damn account, okay? That's what. And so what you think? So then she's basically like, how you know? I haven't even checked the account yet and all this other stuff. How the heck would you be able to know that fast? So she puts it together that obviously this had to come from his aunt, and now she has the attitude with her talking about, you know, she gonna have to go ahead and speak to her because, you know, obviously she called and told her something and she told him something, and she should not be meddling inside of, you know, their marriage and having anything to say about what's going on and going back and telling him anything. Like, she likes her overall and she appreciates that she be looking out for her girls and all that other kind of stuff. But she had no business doing that, and she really don't like that or whatever, right? And so she's going outside like, oh, I couldn't hear you. It was real loud inside or whatever the case may be. And excuse me. And she was trying to play that dumb role first, like, what are you talking about and all that. And then when he was like, that 15,000, she was like, you know, how the hell he know about this? So she was like, well, I haven't even seen any statements or anything. I don't know what you mean. And he was like, really, what you ain't gonna do is sit here and freaking lie to me or whatever, right? And so she was like, oh, well, she, you know, your aunt shouldn't be running behind my back and telling you things, and she should have came to me. And he was, you know, he was like, she was like, well, what do you want to do now? She was like, it's really pretty though. I think you would like it and all this stuff. And he was like, I don't care how pretty it is. The fact of the matter is that you were supposed to spend one amount of money and you went and spent way more than that. And he was like, you better take that shit back. Okay. So he was not giving the reaction that she was over here trying to tell her girlfriends, like, oh, it's no big deal and he'll get over it type of thing. Okay. Nah, he was pissed the hell off, you know, like, come on, how you gonna be ODing and going all crazy like that, right? And so, you know, she's trying to say how this is his aunt's fault and his aunt shouldn't have said nothing. And he like, nah, this ain't got nothing to do with my aunt. This got to do with you and what you went and did. Like, why would you even do something like that? And he was saying he could get to her. Don't act like he can't, right? So she over here and then talking about, oh my God, he making me feel sad and he making me feel like I'm about to cry and all this and that. And it's like, yeah, girl, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, that's still his aunt, not yours. So you should not be shocked that if she knows that you went and spent some type of extra money that you wasn't supposed to spend on a damn ring, that, you know what I'm saying, she wasn't going to say nothing to him about it. Okay, you the dummy if you really sat there and was believing that story that you telling yourself or trying to tell him. And so, you know, she's basically like, oh, well, I'm upset right now and I'm going to go and see about my kids and go speak to your aunt or whatever, because I don't like the fact that she told you that. And she was saying, well, you ain't going to be able to get to me, and you ain't going to be able to get it back. And, over time, you would actually come to like it because it's really nice and all of this. But he seemed like his mind was made up. Like, he was like, girl, I don't give a damn about what you talking about. He was even telling her he'll cut one of her fingers off. I said, well, wait a minute now. Now we going too damn far. I don't know, because I seen that cutting, okay. But they cut out the other damn words, and it's like, it's on her finger, so that's the only other thing I could think of that he gonna be cutting, right? And so, he was like, he'll take that MFO away and all of that, right? And so she's still trying to laugh, but I feel like that was because she was on camera and she was embarrassed, okay? So then she talking about something, well, maybe I should have waited, and he about to make me cry. He over here going in on me, breaking and all of this stuff, right? And so she was like, maybe I did do the wrong thing. I said, yeah. You think, sis? He telling her tighten up, and she was like, you tighten up, and he was like, what you said? So I don't know, girl. Letitia, you better watch out, honey. That's all I could say, right? Now, moving on from her, child, we get to old Renika, baby. Okay, old Renika, like I said she gonna still get on this road. She gonna still see what's happening, with her old Ashanti or whatever, right? And so she goes, she getting ready and all of that, and she ride over there talking about, she ready for her man. She can't wait to get to her man and blah, blah, blah. And when she get there, she like, what the hell is this? This don't even look like a damn jail. She was like, this is all tiny, like little house in the prairie. And she like, it makes walking in the middle of the damn street. Like, what the hell going on? So when she go inside, she asking the lady, like, I'm here for Ashanti or whatever. And the lady's basically like, well, that's not how it works. We know that it's somebody supposed to be brought in about an hour, but we don't know the names. We can't tell the names. And they probably especially wasn't going to tell that with no damn cameras being there filming anyway. But they like, you could go outside and wait in your damn car for that hour, okay? And see if the person comes or not. And then Renika was still trying to say, well, they had said he was going to be brought here, and I know that it's some type of money that have to be paid. And she was like, okay, yeah, well, you still have to wait outside. So she getting mad and trying to huff and puff and act like she want to curse the lady out and saying how stupid this is. And she keep walking back and forth, pacing back and forth, going to the damn doors. If something changed from the last 2 seconds that she just finished walking away from the door. And it's like, it's not these people for, and are you trying to get yourself arrested? Because you can't sit here and act the damn fool up at the damn jail, Renika. Like, come on, act like you got some damn sense. So, of course, they stretched it out because we had already seen the damn car pull up one time before. We had seen another guy walk out and her going, oh, my God, where he at? I don't understand. And where else could he be? Because she basically was saying, like, they're not going to release a prisoner that had a hold on his thing and that needed to pay up some money. So unless somebody else had paid the money, that wasn't happening. And, prisons have different mistakes all the time where one section is not speaking to the other section, the communication is bad. So she felt like it was just a mix-up, and she was like, I'm gonna go ahead and wait there for him anyway, right? And she was like, worst case scenario, he's not getting out at all, or he did get out and he went on about his business, or like some other chick came and picked him up or something like that. But she was like, she's not going to think about none of those things. She was like, he is going to be there. So eventually the truck pull up and it is him, right? He gets out and she's basically all happy, jumping up and down, doing damn jumping jacks and all of this. And he get inside and calls her from the phone on the inside. And he's telling her like, yeah, babe, I'm here, whatever, but I still got to wait for the money to be paid in order for me to get out. And I just need you to sit tight. He was like, he have to make a call. And it's basically going to get sent to her in order for her to come inside and make the payment. And she was like, all right, I'm out here, I'm sitting tight. And he said the reason why the phone was cut off was because he had to leave it at the other prison once he was leaving, because if he would have got, caught with it, then he would have basically been in trouble, right? So she's like, all right, I understand that. So now he hang up from her and he calls somebody else, and he's basically like, oh, mind you, before he even says that, he's like, oh, I should be able to get right out of here, but unfortunately I can't. He's like, Renika's my woman anyway, and she's already here, so I don't understand why she's not just paying the bill. Because she done sent you a whole bunch of other damn money, and you was saying that you had somebody else to do it, so how the hell you waiting for her to expect it now? We already see the bull crap with this, right? And so he's basically like, she's my woman anyway, so she should have been able to do it, right? But he said somebody else was supposed to do it and that they ran off or something like that. So he like, let me call, somebody else and try to work something else right. And she was like, well, do you have it figured out or do you have to figure it out? And he was like, I'm going to try to get it on right now, get that done right now, right? So she's like, okay, so she says she was standing by, and then he calls this other person and he's talking in code. Oh, you know, I want Renika to be able to get this money or whatever the case may be. I told her, but they blinking out some of the words, so you're not hearing the other name that he's saying. But, I need such and such to be able to send it to Renika, but they can't. I guess he wants that person to send it to whoever he's talking to, because he's not going to be able to have probably the other woman send the money to Renika directly or have her call her phone, right? So he want to use this middleman as the person to be able to send it to Renika, and I guess tell whoever he was going to have it sent to send that to that person, and then they send it to Renika. Hopefully y'all understand what the hell I'm saying. So nonetheless, he's saying that he gonna do all of that. So then they ask him who was that, and he just turned his head and he started laughing. So we already know that Dag on Ashanti is full of crap. We been knew that, and we know that we gonna see them on this new season of Love After Lockup, child. And it's probably gonna be foolishness, foolery, and hot messes, then hot messes, then hot mess, then hot mess, then hot mess after hot mess. Okay, y'all? But that was basically the episode. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode, which I think we're going to be getting next week for the season finale. Anything that I left out, put it in the comments. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined, child.